Welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 302. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. This is a talk episode where the tutors talk.
Sam doesn't like my 30-second breathing
was
before I start.
45 seconds today.
Just nothing but breathing, baby. Just prepping myself, priming, getting ready for this.
Apparently. And then you shout when you start. So I have to turn you down. And then you start talking at normal level. And I got to turn you back up.
What's up?
Today. How about you?
Today?
Mm-hmm. It's been a good day.
Yeah. Got a lot of shit done.
Yeah, we did.
Wait, what about we?
I've been craving some fast food lately. Specifically Dairy Queen. Because Dairy Queen has these honey barbecue covered chicken tenders. And you dip them in a little ranch. And it is so good. So good. It was so satisfying. It was the best after gym meal I could have ever asked for.
I let Sam talk me into it. And there's a lot of regret. I had a steak in the fridge. Mm-hmm. And I fucking regret everything.
I don't.
I hate that shit.
The only thing I regret about that is because it's right next to that used car lot. So, of course, then we had to wait 10 minutes for Shaun to walk around the car lot, which he should have done when we were waiting for our food.
Fuck.
And now he's like, what if I just traded my car for a different truck?
Yeah, I got like 4 trucks on my radar now because I walked through that lot. Like, fuck.
And we already own 2.
You know what they say? Third time's a charm.
Is it? Is it though?
Nope. Not for me.
Yeah.
I'll get another one. And then I'll want another one. And then I'll want another one.
And then you'll regret selling one of the ones you have.
100%. That is actually factual.
It's actually shocking that we have had the diesel for as long as we've had the diesel.
We should just keep it forever. That should be the one vehicle we never get rid of.
You say that now, and then in about 2 weeks, they're going to be like, why do we need to keep it? We're never going to tow anything that we need a diesel for. Like, why do we need to keep this? And then I'll remind you, you always say how much nicer it is to tow things with the diesel versus your other truck.
So much nicer. Not even comparable.
Yeah.
We should sell it. Anyways,
just in the span of that 1 minute.
I have a problem.
And everybody knows about it.
And everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
I flip shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish I could accept that.
Mm-hmm.
I either just need to accept that I do nothing but flip, or I just need to start holding everything, which will become very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I have accepted that I'm a collector. And I, harness my collection.
Mm-hmm. Cars take up space and you need to insure them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't drive them, they deteriorate.
Yeah.
So it makes it harder.
Makes it quite a bit harder for you.
Yeah. It takes up a lot of space. So, thought about just losing weight, getting skinnier.
Where did that come from?
I was watching Instagram reels.
Okay.
And they said the less you eat and the more you fast, the less sick you'll be.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a lot of sense. I'm like, I'm always eating.
Yeah, you are.
If I wasn't always eating, sickness doesn't have anything to attach itself to. So I could just never be sick.
Yeah.
Or be sick so much less.
That's true.
But then I have to be skinny. And I don't know if I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I could do it?
No.
I haven't been skinny ever my whole life.
Shaun, how much do you weigh right now?
195 pounds.
And how do you feel about that?
Kind of like I'm a woman.
Yeah. So how do you expect to lose any more weight?
Probably won't be able to.
Yep.
I could probably maybe I could live around 190 and be okay with it. When I was 190 before my competition, that looked all right.
Yeah.
That was like...
Would you go back to that 190?
Shredded to the gill, 190. Eating a very good 3 meals a day, around 2,500 calories.
You could survive on that? Like that?
Would I like it? No, but I think I could survive on it. I like being juicy.
The only thing I don't like is how... So Shaun complains about being small. But then he complains
Kinda
about
like a little bird.
how much food he has to eat to stay big.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, I'm going to have to hear you complain about it.
So this used to not be an issue. Well, I ate El Patio every day.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know.
Wild.
It's like as soon as you get clean, good organic food and quit eating a lot of bread/wheat in the form of tortillas, sour cream, the cheese, whatever else they're putting in that.
Yeah, think how much water weight you just have lost.
Oh, man.
20 pounds.
Oh, yeah. I bet you. Right now, I'm holding a little more water than before. Because...
Got a little tum-tum still.
Got a little tummy-tum still from vacay.
Which you haven't been able to train as hard as you like to. So.
That's all it is. I mean, that's why I was so lean before my competition. Because I was able to train how I like to train. And then eating, so I was able to just stay fucking peeled and in really good shape. Why are you looking at me like that?
Hormones.
Could be hormones. It has a lot to do with me not being able to train how I like training.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure the hormones are helping.
Sorry we keep yawning, guys. It's 8 o'clock at night.
If I keep degrading, though, and like, so my shoulder's getting close to being better.
Yeah.
And I'm almost over shingles. Probably another week and I'll be over shingles. Once those two things are done, I'm thinking about time I'm done with shingles in like a week or so, my shoulder should be back to good. So I can really ramp up training again. If my body doesn't start changing how I want it to within like 2 months, it's going to be tough for me mentally.
Yeah.
That will be very difficult. I'm used to being able to adjust my body. As long as I'm like healthy, boom, boom, boom. I mean, just switch.
And we just recut out sweets again like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
We were going a little crazy after vacay.
We got a little bad for a little bit there. It wasn't a good month span.
No.
Too much alcohol, too much sweet. It just wasn't a good month.
Yeah.
We were indulging too much. There, dude, I am my happiest when I am strict as shit.
Yeah.
It's so weird, dude. When people are like, "Oh, you want a beer?" I'm like, "No, I'm the happiest." You want this cookie? No, I don't want a fucking cookie, dude. I'm more disciplined than that. That's when I'm happiest.
Yeah.
But then it just tempts me. It says it talks in my ear.
Short-term gratification, babe.
It's fucking terrible, dude.
We're so addicted to it right now.
Oh, it's so bad. It's like every time you grab your fucking phone to look at something.
I know. I went on there to post on Tutor Transformations and Instagram. And, like, I opened up Facebook, and I was like, that's not Instagram. Why'd I open up this?
100%.
So dumb.
Dumb. Yeah, so anyways, I was thinking about getting a little healthier again.
Yeah.
But then when I say that, I think of how I used to, like, lift weights.
You can't get big and do jujitsu, I don't think.
With enough gear, I can.
You really want to cross that road again?
Not really. I've just spent so much time getting off. I don't want to do it.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I want to go back.
Yeah.
I do want to go back, but like I shouldn't go back.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on from this topic. So I went onto Facebook today to look at cars because I have a problem. This is a common theme. I've got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on Facebook to look at cars for 10 minutes before the gym. And I saw Ryan made a post. And I loved the post.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. Him and I have talked about this so many times.
Yeah. We've talked about it on here.
We've talked about it, and here's what it is, guys. Motherfuckers want to be an entrepreneur. I want freedom. Fuck the man. I'm going to quit my job. All right, cool, gangster, little buddy. So you quit your job and you go start on your own. Most of the time, it's for some level of service business. Contracting, maintenance, electrician, whatever it is. Most of the time, you're quitting your thing and you're doing some sort of service-based. Okay, cool. And people will start that job, their job, working for themselves, and they'll wake up a little later than before.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a hard start time of 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. So they get to the job site at 9. That's not a big deal. It's no big deal. I'll just work a little later. One old lady knows she can text them all day long. So old lady's texting you. Hey, what you up to? Blah, blah, blah. My day's not going good. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, can you stop at the grocery store and get this? Hey, I need this. Hey, can you grab this too while you're out? Okay. So you're out on your runs and stuff. You're like, well, I need this stuff from Menards. So you grab a personal shit while you're at it too. Okay, well, that just took up a little time.
Mm-hmm.
Then your old lady's like, hey, let's grab lunch. So you go grab lunch for an hour with your old lady. Okay, cool. And now you're looking at what the amount of time you actually worked, in the day. It's like 3, 4 o'clock. You're like, okay, well, I fucked off and ran around for an hour. I texted for 2 hours. I went to lunch for an hour, so I killed 4 hours right there. I started my day at 9.
And I got done at 4.
And I got done at 4. So I've got 3 hours of work in, but how productive was that 3 hours of work when I was getting interrupted by texting the whole time? And I had to run to the store, and all so I got 3 hours of work done. Okay. And now you do this 4 days, because why not take a Friday off? You're your own boss.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go.
It's Memorial Day weekend. Let's make it a 4-day weekend instead.
Why not? So you go. Now you're working 12 hours, 20 hours. Like I'm talking billable hours, legit hours.
Mm-hmm.
You work maybe 20 legit hours now because you now have this as a lifestyle instead of a motherfucking job.
Mm-hmm.
Working for yourself, it should be structured. Shouldn't start any later than 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Or I know some people that get up and they start at 6 and then work till like 9, do their own thing, gym, whatever.
If they time block it correctly.
They time block it, whatever. If you own your own business, dude, especially in the beginning, and you're not working at a minimum, this seems so fucking stupid to even say this. If you're not working at least 40 hours a week, structured 5 8-hour days or 4 10s or whatever, if you're not working at least 40 hours a week, fucking off yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, dude? If you're in the start of a business and it's your own business, we shouldn't even be in the realm of discussing 40. We should be discussing nothing but 50 plus.
Mm-hmm.
You start your own business. You should be, and you know what? In that 50 plus, I'll give you education. You could spend time educating, listen to podcasts, reading, whatever. I'll put that in that time span, learning more about your career field, etc. But dude, you need to be working.
If you're doing less than 30, yeah, that is a joke. Like you're not making it anyway.
Less than 30 is a fucking joke.
Yeah, like you're not making it in life.
No, dude.
And I'm not even just talking about in this job that you started, this business you started. You're not making it in life.
Life, dude. I legitimately think if you can't work 40 hours on your own a week, you should very, very, very much consider going to work for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're unable to structure and be disciplined in your own life, your own realm.
100%.
If you can't, it's not good, dude.
No.
It ain't good. Too many people are treating this shit their fucking lifestyle. Like, the entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. You got to build something, dude. You got to grow something, crush something, do something at life, you know?
Dude, it makes me realize, like, elementary school kids are more disciplined than some of these entrepreneurs out there right now.
Hundy.
Yeah, you just gotta treat your business like an actual job or like schooling, because we went to school from 7:30 to 3:30 every single 5 days a week.
Right.
So yeah, you gotta take it seriously, otherwise you're going nowhere in life,
dude. And I'm like probably the number one example of not having a structured day. It depends on the day, depends on how I'm feeling. I might get up, I start working. The other day I started at 6 a.m. Some days I start, at 8.
but like, I mean, just now we did an hour of work from 7 to 8.
Right. I mean, and so I just I just work throughout the day, randomly here and there. I'm always like doing shit. I remember for a while we like calculated out, not just for like the one business, but for like, what we're doing for Whiskeria or Recon, what we're doing on like our rentals, business, all that stuff. And we like personal development, tutors of life. We like calculate out. It was like 60 hours a week average. And then we added in the gym and I was at like 70 hours a week. So I was like 70 hours a week just for my work. Like just for my fucking my work and shit. Like boom. And then you break down what I actually had for like
Yeah, Mimi's just like, yeah, I don't miss that.
It's like 70 hours a week, and then you get your 7 times 8 is 35. 35 hours onto that, so 105. So I was getting, 23 hours a week to myself, like 23 hours of whatever to myself a week, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, not really.
No.
3 hours a day, whatever. But
we made it.
Yeah. I don't do that like that anymore, but I bet you it's 50 hours a week now.
Yeah.
Well, if you add in the gym, not right now I'm sick, but like you add in like normal gym, tutors of life, personal development, Recon / Whiskeria, tutor transformations, rental shit, whatever, 60.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy 60.
Yeah, this past week we chilled out a little bit to try and heal Shaun.
Oh, dude, I honestly, I'd work for about 5-6 hours, and I'd get so fucked up, I would just pass out.
He doesn't nap before he could do anything.
Sleep, hour, 2 hours, wake up, tea, get rolling, back into it, work for another 5 hours, crash. And so it was a rough week. It was a really rough week.
Was today better?
Today was a lot better.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Today was a lot better.
Yeah, so we'll repeat ourselves like we've talked about. Not everyone is made to be an entrepreneur. It's about 1% of the population.
Yep.
So do keep that in mind. Just because you want the freedom or whatever, owning your own business does not give you freedom. Even people that own bigger companies, like if you listen to Andy Frisella, he doesn't have freedom.
No.
Like, sure, he has a ton of money that he could go do whatever he wants, but his business still has issues, still has things he has to, like, watch and do and everything. He doesn't travel. He doesn't go on vacation. Like, his life is his business.
Yes. And if you listen to Alex Hormozy, he talks about, in the Bible, it talks about work.
Yeah.
What did God give the first person, Adam? What the first thing he gave him?
A wife, a woman?
Nope. Purpose.
Oh.
Tend to the garden. The first thing God did for Adam when he created Adam was give him work, purpose, tend to the garden. And then he got a wife after that who ended up ruining everything, which is pretty standard. Anyways, the big thing is it starts with work, and that's what he's talking about. It's like, if in the Bible and the first thing God does is give humans work, you should fucking Work. It's the most important thing. A purpose is the most important thing over everything. Period. Work. It doesn't have to just be career, but working on it, like in the gym, fitness, working on a relationship, working on personal development, work.
They've literally proven too that, like working out in the gym or like contracting your muscles.
Oh yeah.
Releases endorphins that make you happy.
Yeah, like hope molecules.
Hope molecules. Yeah. So just contracting your muscles makes you have hope or drive or happiness or whatever. Right. And Shaun and I were talking about it and we're like, oh, like that makes sense why like suicide is such a big thing now. And it didn't used to be in the early century.
Right.
Not the century, the
19th century.
Yeah.
Wait, 20th century.
20th century.
Sorry.
Because everyone had a purpose. Everyone had like a job. Like most people were farmers or bakers or, I don't want to say sewers, seamstresses. Yeah. Like they had their own jobs, but most of these jobs are physical jobs. So yeah, you're constantly moving, contracting those muscles. So then you're always releasing those good endorphins.
Yeah, and they're also eating good. You know, they were eating good back then and shit.
Yeah.
You know, now we got a bunch of fat, dough, useless fucks.
We have too many options. We have too many distractions.
Yeah, it's not good. So I talked about this 250 years ago. 85% of the population was self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Technology, massively. The last 250 years, structured school system, public school system.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked us all.
Mainly designed by
communists.
Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing with technology and with
structured
school, public school, we aren't taught how to be self-employed anymore.
Mm-mm.
So like before, if your dad was a blacksmith, you were going to be a blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
You were raised, you were taught the skill, you were taught how to run the business, and you were a blacksmith, okay? You know, same thing, seamstress, farmer, whatever it is. That's how it was. That's how you were raised. That's what you did. You know, you got your 15% that went and worked for someone else, helping them on their little business. Maybe you worked for the king or the, you know, whatever, the government of sorts back then. The army, whatever it is, right? But we're not taught that anymore.
No.
So what we're taught is how to follow orders. Since day one, we're taught how to be manipulated, how to follow direction, and that's it. And so now, when these people are entrepreneurs, and you go, well, now you have to think on your own. Okay, there's not a lot of problem solving going on there.
No.
The discipline is dick because they're not disciplined. They can't handle it.
Mm-mm.
And go ahead.
I think that's why, like, because we've heard of these like miracle businesses that kids start right out of high school, or like the cool things that like kids do right out of high school. And I think they're able to do that because yes, they were like in a structured scenario, whatever, but like you have to have discipline in school. I mean, they mainly force it on you because you can't have your phone while you're doing stuff, but whatever. But I think it's so much easier to transition into do that stuff and keep that discipline right out of high school when you come out of it than 10 years afterwards.
1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the kids that graduate high school. I talked about this so many times. They're fit.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the girls. They got flat stomachs.
Mm-hmm.
Look at most of the dudes. They look like, you know, obviously they got baby faces, but most of them have like some level of muscle tone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Put them in college 1 year. The freshman 15.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. They all gain it. They all get fat.
And why? Because the food's shitty.
The food's shitty? And where'd the discipline go?
Gone.
Mom and dad ain't there no more. They ain't keeping you in line. Sports aren't keeping you in line.
Yeah, because you don't have to do sports.
You know, sports, you probably don't have a part-time job anymore. You're just focused on school. You're just fucking going to class, hanging out with friends, eating in the fucking cafeteria, not moving for shit.
Partying on the weekends.
Fat. Useless. You wreck all your level of fucking sense of purpose, sense of discipline, everything is gone. And then we do nothing but compound that. Year over year. You're sitting there. And then, poof, you get into the workforce. You decide this isn't for me because I want freedom. I've done nothing but follow the rules and show up every day. And then poof, I'm going to work on my own. Oh, I've done nothing but build bad habits for the last 10 fucking years. And I ain't do a damn thing because you got nothing but bad habits. And you're not willing to spend the time doing personal development to learn and identify what the fucking problem is, which is yourself, your lack of discipline, your bad habits, to fucking course correct and start executing the way you're supposed to execute.
Dude, it's wild. So I was just like thinking back to like high school times and because I was in like so many clubs, I was in all the sports, I did so much. So I didn't even have a part-time job in high school because I was so busy with groups and everything. I probably only spent a couple hours at home every night because I was so busy running around doing other things. And then you go to college and they're just like, now you have to live on your own. You have to figure out how to feed yourself, do your laundry, keep your apartment or dorm room clean. You have to actually choose like all of your classes. You have to choose what major you're in. I think that's honestly like the biggest downfall of the U.S. Like college and university system is the lack of like we have too many options. There's one, too many dumbass majors that don't fucking do anything. And two, like in a lot of European schools, you have to test in a specific like university.
Same with Canada.
Okay. Oh, really? But it actually starts like with your high school. So like I remember my German professor always told us how there was like 3 different types of high schools, and in like middle school, some even start in elementary school, you would like start taking these tests to figure out which school you would go into.
Canada does the same thing.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, that's it. That's how their shit's structured.
And you can, like, if you want to go up, like, to the higher school, you can test in.
Yep.
So, like, my German professor knew he wanted to be a teacher or professor. He tested into the middle one, which doesn't allow you to go to university. So he tested and got into the upper high school. And then he eventually came to the U.S. to go and get his teaching degree and whatnot. But still, like, he couldn't even go into the career field that he wanted because his test scores weren't high enough.
Right.
Like, I think that's just so much better for us to have less options.
Can't tell you even more. Getting good food would be a good option.
Well, yeah.
I think how they treat kids with so much structure in school, and like kids don't know anything, and then they just go, now 100% free reign.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much control than zero control on kids. They're, you know, whether it's in the household, it should really be in the school system a lot too, but it's fucked. But this is what's bad about not having a stay-at-home mom to raise the kids and shit, is like people need to get ready for the real world. Mm-hmm. They need to be taught real life skills. They need to be taught how to cook, clean, budget, taxes, all this shit, right? How to change your fucking oil, you know, whatever, fix a car, all that stuff. You need to learn these things. And the problem is, most of these kids are just like sports, school. Okay. What do you want to do when you grow up? Okay. Boom. So you're going to go do what you want to do. Mm-hmm. As soon as they go into what they want to do, then they're like, fuck, what do I do about my oil change? My car's fucked up. My apartment's a mess. I'm eating ramen noodles because I don't know what the fuck anything means. Yep. Like, and then you're like, you wind up and you go, oh, fuck, dude, I don't even like this major. Or, in my and your case, both. What can I do with this major?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I have to go to doctorate level. I've got to go to. So I'm doing. What is the point of this bachelor's? Well, if I'm even going into college and my GPA isn't above a 3.75, which I need to get into graduate program, why are you even letting me do this?
Right, 100%.
What a fucking waste. But it's not how it is. Oh, if I didn't ask my advisor, hey, what can I do with this? And she goes, be a personal trainer or go to doctorate to graduate school. And I go, well, she's like, look at your grades though. You ain't making it. I couldn't even make up to make it there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, then I'm out of here. She's like, I think that's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't ask those questions, I just sat there and had a useless fucking, I would be you.
100%. My advisor never told me, one, that with my bachelor's degree, I couldn't go work in a lab like I wanted to.
Yeah.
I needed a 2-year certificate to go work in a lab. So that would have been nice to know.
Yep.
He never told me that. And then he never was just like, your grades aren't good enough for you to go get your master's or a doctorate like you need. That would have been so fucking helpful, dog.
So great. Also mention, that 2-year cert you needed was to make $18 an hour in a lab.
Yep.
$18 an hour in the lab. At that same time you were going through that, you could have went and worked at Menard's warehouse for that. Zero education.
Mm-hmm.
Literally can be a rock and do that job.
Yeah, and I mean, I was already making like, what was I making? I was making at like $12, $13 an hour at Yankee.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just ridiculous.
But you have, I mean, but just don't do anything about that. Literally, Menard's warehouse.
Yeah.
18. You know what I'm saying? Like, ridiculous back then.
And I know there's so many people like going to college and university that keep having that issue. We told both my nieces when they were coming up to age, because my brother was like asking us to like talk to them about it and whatever. And we told them both, we're like, if you're going to go to a 2-year tech college. Like, do not go to university unless if you actually know what you want to do.
Right.
And my one niece went to a private school for a year and then came back and hasn't gone back.
Yup.
But funny enough, she went into the same career field that her mom does and loves it.
Correct.
Crazy.
Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, it's something. I think honestly, what it all comes down to, dude, is taking ownership, taking control of your family, your house.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it is. You gotta be there to raise your kids. You gotta teach them the right shit. You gotta be careful sending them to what daycares you send them to. You gotta be careful what public schools you're sending them to. You gotta see the curriculum. What are they learning? How are these kids growing up? How are they developing? What are they eating? What are you eating? Are you guys exercising?
Who are their friends in school even? Who
are they hanging out with?
Yeah,
that's huge.
My 2 nieces had 2 completely different groups of friends. One was a super nerd, and the other
was not a super nerd.
Yep.
Kind of the opposite.
Yep, the very opposite. They're both like fine now, but still, like, it was a rough time for my younger niece for a while.
Bro, the friend group is huge, huge. Mm-hmm. Dude, it's...
And whenever, like, I had so many different friend groups growing up, but it was kind of like, whenever one of them, like, started going in a direction I didn't like, I was like, no, I'm going to go over here.
Yep.
I had one, for a little while, I had, like, a girlfriend group. Mainly always hung out with boys. But for, like, a year, I had, like, a girlfriend group. And then towards the end of the year, they started making fun of me for something. And I was like, I'm going to go sit with these dudes over here that don't make fun of me.
Right.
Anyways, that's just a fun little story about me.
Nice. Yeah, dude, it's being involved, I think, is what it comes down to.
100%, yeah.
Being involved, being aware. Awareness is huge. And here's the thing, dude. If you know about yourself, you can it's pretty fucking easy. I'm gonna spell out how easy it is. We're gonna evaluate ourselves. Okay? Let's evaluate our discipline. What's your body look like? What kind of food you got in the house? What are you putting in your gullet every day?
Mm-hmm.
How's your finances? Your relationship with your spouse or significant other? How is it? Your relationships with your friends? How are they? And
Your family.
Your relationship with your family and your kids. Okay? You do a self-evaluation. How are those things? Okay? Then pull up your phone. What's your screen time? Okay? Screen time. 6 hours. 8 hours. Okay. How disciplined are we?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, before we decide to be entrepreneurs and quit our job, let's not get rid of the some semblance of structure in our life. Let's keep that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the structure. Let's clean up the diet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's control what we're bringing into the house. Let's control what we're putting in our mouth. Let's start moving and exercising. Let's get a budget going. Let's follow a budget. Let's follow a plan. Let's get our finances in order. Let's start living below our means. Get rid of shit you don't need. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Start having conversations and communication with your spouse or your significant other. What things are lacking? What things could get better? You know, what's going on there? Are you spending any time with some friends? It's really important to get out and just get that the time with the friends to decompress and chill, right? So are you getting out hanging out with friends for an hour a week or two, whatever, right? And then how are things with your kids? Are you spending time with your kids? Are you actually present when you're with your kids, or are you on your phone? You know, and then the last thing, looking at your phone. How much time am I spending on this a day?
Yeah.
Is it a problem? Okay. Do I need to delete apps? Do I need to put blockers on my phone? Do I need to put my phone in the other room when I go to bed? When I get home, do I need to put it in a container and leave it there, whatever, and just have a phone on the counter that you pay $30 a month for?
To just text and make calls.
For emergencies only.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that, dude, you have no idea that $30 a month, how much that's going to save you. If you have an emergency only phone and you put your other phone away at night, you have no idea how much money and time and fucking health that $30 a month is going to get for you.
No, 100%.
Do self-eval, dude. Look at those things. If those things aren't fucking good, if those things aren't down packed, don't become an entrepreneur, dog. Because that's just adding one more thing to your list of a fuck show that's going to be all fucked up and not structured.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if you don't have all of those, you should rethink about all of your life.
Yeah.
If you... another podcast or YouTube show that I highly suggest is Caleb Hammer's show. I don't know what his podcast is called.
Financial Audit.
Yes.
I love that motherfucker. He's so funny.
He's the greatest.
I love Dave Ramsey more, but Caleb Hammer's pretty good.
Yeah. Caleb Hammer, I think, is more relatable to our age group.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But literally, you listen to any show of his, any show, and their issues are, most of them are overweight. Most, not all, most. Their eating is outrageous. If they're not overweight, their eating is still outrageous. Yeah. Because there was one young kid who was 22 who was stick thin, but he would stop and get a Doritos and something else every single day. You're not going to stay that skinny for long, bud. But anyways.
Metabolism.
That's what I'm saying. It was only because he was young that he was still skinny. So overweight. They eat just garbage food. They do lots of spending just on other things. So obviously they have no budget.
Short-term gratification through spending.
100%. And it's just he has to sit there and make them do a self-eval while he's going through their finances. And they're like, I don't see a problem. That's what blows my mind, is how many people, they start off the episodes talking about how they don't see a problem. There have been quite a few couples on there that I've seen that one of the spouses doesn't do anything with the finances, didn't know how bad of a position they were in until that show. So communication in your marriage.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Personal people I know, I've seen that with.
Yeah. So yeah, I highly suggest, like, if you're one of those people that are just like, I don't think I need to do a self eval, watch that show, and then you will be like, I'm not that much of a piece of shit, but I could get into that spot very, very easily.
It's like people that say I don't need a budget. Like, you might not need to follow a budget, but you better fucking do one to see where your money's going. Just so you know. Make sure you're under. Like, if you don't follow a budget, that's fine, but make sure you're at least spending less than you're making.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, just make sure, you know what I'm saying? And then you can see, like, you know, if you're spending money in an area that's kind of foolish, like maybe, you know, maybe it's sneakers, maybe you go to the sneakers too much, maybe it's Shields, maybe you're going to Shields too much, you know, like there's somewhere, maybe it's you get your coffee every morning or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You get your $7 latte or whatever. Just take an eval, essentially, once again, just an eval budget, and look at it. And if you go, you know what, fuck it, dude. I like my Shields. I like going to Shields, but I'm still net positive. You know what I'm saying? I'm still living below my means. I'm still saving every month. All right, whatever then.
Yeah.
Cool. But like, if you're like, oh fuck, dude, actually my Shields budget or my Dunkin' Donuts budget or my fucking going out to eat at lunch budget with my spouse is the difference of me fucking being above or below. You know. I mean, you should look at that and really think what you're doing.
100%.
But no, I loved Ryan's talk. I love that Ryan brought that up today. It's super fitting. We notice it so fucking much with the contractors we work with.
We're doing a lot of I wouldn't say restructuring, but some
new expectations and shit.
Yeah. So
I like their subs. I don't control their hours. I don't control their time. But there's timelines and there's deadlines, and they need to start following them. And if they can't, then we got to get new ones.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. Either you're going to work for us hourly and show up every day and work, or if you want to do whatever you do, you got deadlines and you got to reach them. Like, and honestly, what it might come down to is if they're not reaching deadlines, they're getting like docked. They're not getting full pay. Like, here's the deadline. We will not pay you. Like, we'll pay you 3/4. You will not get the last 25% until that section's done. Yeah. And then you'll get paid that. And if you don't get it done on time, then it's a 10% reduction every week.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, we should do that with some of them that take fucking forever.
Dude, it's just like, then just do the job. Yeah. Like, just get it done.
I just hate it when they say, like, oh, yeah, I'll be there today.
And they just don't fucking show up.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I don't get it, dude. That's fucking... But you want to know what? That's not only subcontractors. I've seen that with employees so many times in the construction field.
We were just talking about this, how, like, literally you can't win in the construction world because you have either the fixed bids or the fixed price, and most of the time they'll try to get it done as fast as they can so they can make the most amount of money.
And they cut corners.
So they cut corners, so you get shitty work, things don't get done right, whatever. Or you have the hourly, and people could be taking their time because they want to get more hourly. Right. And honestly, you can't win either way.
Dude, it's so hard. So hard to win in that game.
People will impress you the first time around, but be careful.
Oh, man.
The second and third time.
Yep. I don't know. I know there's a way to like build people, but it not subcontract. Like, it's very difficult to build subcontractors because they're their own people. They're their own business or their own thing. You know, if they're your employees, you can do development and like personal development. But then they're your employees, and in the field of construction, like, for me to have a hardwood specialist on staff is stupid. You know, for me to have someone who's a drywall specialist, fuck, is that a waste?
Right. And so many of our subcontractors are guys that had their own businesses, don't want to do their own stuff anymore, don't want to have to find jobs or whatever, so then they come work for us. Because then they just know if they can work for us, we'll always have work for them.
Right.
So those guys aren't going to want to be employees.
No.
Like, they're just like, no, I want to be able to, like...
Right off my truck, right off my tools, be my own boss, take a fucking day off if I want, whatever.
So our options of hiring people are, like, 18 to 25-year-old kids that don't know a whole lot.
Yeah.
And we've... Yeah. And even in Eau Claire, the building program, construction program at CVTC is pretty mediocre.
It's, yeah.
So.
It's definitely something.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, I don't know. It's just, all I learn is the grass is always greener.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what we're doing, the grass is always greener.
100%.
And so we just got to keep plugging along with what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, we always are kind of like, oh, if we did this type of business, it'd be so much easier. And now we're in that type of business, and we're like, this is not easier.
Not easier.
No.
Definitely not easier.
Mm. We've thought about doing other businesses, and we're like, that will be an easy business. Probably not.
Probably not. It seems like it, but that's how it is with everything, right? Like everything seems better than it is.
Mm.
Everything seems easier or more attainable until you're doing it. And then you're like, oh, wait. Fuck.
Especially like while we're in the thick of it right now.
Right.
Like we know this business can be very smooth, easy, everything, because there's plenty of them in Eau Claire that are very like smooth and good. So we know it's attainable. We just have to figure out how.
Right. When get through it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing is like not quitting.
Yeah.
Because, a couple years in, and the last thing we want to do is start another endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we're a couple years in. Well, let's just keep grinding it out 10 more years, see where we're at. Like, you just got to keep grinding and pushing forward because that's the only way to make an impact and actually figure shit out is, like, repetition in it.
Yeah.
And if you're always changing into something else, you're never getting good at anything. You're never mastering anything. So you're never building a brand, nothing.
Yeah.
So you got to just spend time in that one thing you decide and just spend your life.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, that's what I got for today, guys.
All right, gang. Hope you enjoyed the rant. Get your fucking ass up and do some work.
Sounds good.
Peace.
See ya.